What if the sun you see in the sky is not a star, but a veil? A blinding golden curtain drawn across a doorway to the very source of creation itself. You have been taught to worship its light, to be grateful for its warmth, to track its movements as the predictable engine of your world. But what if its greatest function was not to illuminate, but to hide? To conceal a secret so profound that its discovery would not just change your life, but rewrite the very laws of reality you believe you are subject to. You have been conditioned to look at the sun and see a destination for your gaze. You will now learn to look through it and see the origin of your soul. This is not a story about astronomy. This is the unveiling of the architect's vault. From the moment you were born, you were taught to trust your senses. The sun is the most undeniable object in your perceived reality. It is the great constant, the celestial king, the visible source of all energy and life. In ancient Egypt, this perception was deified. The sun was Ra, the creator god, the first and most powerful of all beings. He was the one who sailed the celestial river in his solar bark, bringing order and life to the world by day and journeying through the treacherous darkness of the underworld by night. This is the sun of the senses. It is Ra in his most exoteric, his most obvious, his most physical form. It is the God you can see, the power you can feel on your skin. And this is the first layer of the great illusion. The physical sun, the one that scientists measure and poets praise, is not the source. It is a local phenomenon, a terminal, a focal point through which a much greater, more subtle and non-physical reality pours into your dimension. Its brilliance is not just a byproduct of nuclear fusion, it is a divine strategy. Its light is so overwhelming, its presence so dominant, that it actively discourages you from asking the most important question: what is it illuminating from? What is the engine behind the engine? The physical sun is the greatest distraction in the cosmos. It is a divine spectacle so magnificent that it keeps the uninitiated masses looking outward, forever chasing the light, never thinking to question the nature of the darkness that lies behind it, or more accurately, the unmanifest light that exists within it. You have been trained to believe that reality is what you can see. The sun is the ultimate confirmation of that belief. And that is why it is the perfect place to hide the greatest secret of all. The esoteric teachings, the whispers that were only ever shared in the sealed chambers of the pyramids and the midnight halls of the mystery schools, told a different story. They taught that to find the true nature of Ra, you must not look at the sun, but pass through it. Not physically, but consciously. For beneath the sun, not in a spatial sense, but in a dimensional one, lies the true source of its power. It is a hidden chamber, a secret nexus, point, a dimension that exists outside of time and space as you know it. This is the true heart of Ra, the silent, unmoving center from which all of his manifest power originates. Let us give it its proper name: the chamber of first forms, the architect's vault. This chamber is not a room made of stone or light. It is a state of being. It is a dimension of pure, undifferentiated potential. It is the zero-point field where all of creation exists as a silent, unified, and unmanifested thought. It is the mind of God before the word is spoken. It is the cosmic womb of Atum, the primordial stillness from which Ra, the first impulse of creation, was born. To enter this chamber is to return to the moment before the beginning, to the place where all possibility exists, but nothing has yet been chosen. It is the ultimate source, the blueprint repository for all of existence. And what it contains is not treasure as you would understand it. It contains something far more valuable. It contains the source code of reality. Inside this chamber, there are no books, no scrolls, no tablets of stone. Such things are crude translations, the tools of a manifest world. In the architect's vault, knowledge exists in its purest, most primordial state. It exists as the blueprints of creation itself. First, there are the geometric codes. These are the silent, crystalline thoughts of the divine mind. The patterns you have seen echoed in sacred art. The flower of life, the seed of life, Metatron's cube, the perfect solids, are not just beautiful designs. They are two-dimensional shadows of the complex, multi-dimensional geometric forms that exist within this chamber. These are the mathematical archetypes that give structure to all of physical reality. The precise angle of a water molecule, the spiral of a galaxy, the branching of a tree, the architecture of your own bones. All of these are physical expressions of these first, perfect, geometric thoughts. Matter does not create pattern. Pattern creates matter. And the patterns themselves live here in the heart of the inner sun. Next, there are the vibrational frequencies. The chamber hums with a silent music, the symphony of potential. It holds the pure, original frequencies, the notes that, when projected out into the manifest world, become the entire spectrum of existence. One frequency projects as the color red. Another projects as the feeling of love. Others project as the elements of the periodic table, the frequencies of gold, of iron, of carbon. All of creation is a vast and complex chord, an interplay of these original vibrations. The sounds you hear, the colors you see, the emotions you feel, these are all luted, modified echoes of the pure frequencies stored in this chamber. This is why sound can heal, why color can alter your mood, why certain emotions feel divine. When you experience these things, you are momentarily resonating with a fragment of the original blueprint, a single note from the silent song of creation. And most profoundly, the chamber holds the archetypes of consciousness. It is not just the blueprint for the physical world, but for all forms of life and all states of being. The pattern for a star, the pattern for a plant, and the pattern for a human soul all exist here as divine potentials. The gods themselves, as the Egyptians understood them, are not bearded figures on thrones. They are vast, archetypal patterns of consciousness that also originate from this chamber. Anubis is the archetype of the guide through transition. Isis is the archetype of the search for divine wisdom. And within this chamber resides the most important blueprint of all for you, the divine pattern for the fully awakened, realized, and perfected human being. The Egyptians called this the Sahu, the glorified spiritual body. This is the original you, the perfect version of your soul, the one you were before you were born into the world of illusion and forgot who you were. This blueprint, your divine original, is stored in the eternal silence of the chamber, waiting for you to access it, to remember it, and to build yourself in its image. This chamber, this source of all form and all life, is not an open library. It is the most sacred and heavily guarded place in all of creation, but its guardians are not winged beasts or fiery angels. The chamber is guarded by the very laws of its own nature. It is a realm of such perfect unity, of such impossibly high vibration, that nothing of a lower, fragmented nature can enter it. To access the chamber, you cannot go as a separate self, as an ego, as a being of desire or fear. You must become as silent, as unified, and as coherent as the chamber itself. You must match its frequency. The door to the source is not opened with a physical key. It is opened by becoming the resonance that matches the lock. The price of entry is the dissolution of the separate self. This is why the knowledge of this chamber was the most protected secret of the ancient world. It is a power that cannot be taken by force. It can only be received in surrender. But if the chamber is so inaccessible, so pure, then how does creation happen? How do these perfect blueprints move from the realm of potential into the realm of the actual? For this, the divine mind required a translator, a processor, a being with the unique ability to stand with one foot in the world of pure potential and one foot in the world of manifest form. It required a scribe. It required Thoth. While Ra is the source, the silent, radiant heart of potential, Thoth is the divine intellect, the active principle of wisdom that can enter the architect's vault, comprehend the blueprints, and translate them into the laws and structures that govern our universe. Thoth is the one who reads the silent, geometric thoughts of God and writes them into the fabric of reality. He is the master architect who takes the divine vision and creates the working schematics for creation. Think of the Chamber of First Forms as an infinite library where all books are written in a light-based code that no one can read. Thoth is the master librarian who can decode the light, who understands the language of pure geometry and vibration. He then transcribes this knowledge into usable forms. The laws of physics, the principles of mathematics, the cycles of time, the flow of energy. These are all Thoth's translations of the chamber's silent wisdom. He is the bridge between the unmanifest and the manifest, the processor that turns the infinite potential of Ra into the ordered reality you experience. This is why in Egyptian mythology, Thoth is often seen as the tongue or the heart of Ra. He is the one who speaks Ra's will into existence. Ra holds the what. Thoth provides the how. The relationship between them is a perfect symbiosis, the two most fundamental aspects of the creative process. Ra is the silent, explosive potential of a star. Thoth is the intricate, mathematical precision of a snowflake. Both are divine. Both are necessary. Without Ra's chamber, Thoth would have nothing to translate. Without Thoth's wisdom, the chamber's power would remain forever locked away, a silent, unrealized dream. This divine partnership is the engine of the cosmos. And the ancients left a key, a symbol of this entire process, a diagram of the technology required to access the chamber. That key is the Ankh. You have seen it 1,000 times, dismissed it as a mere symbol of life or fertility. But the Ankh is a circuit diagram. The loop at the top represents the cosmic womb, the chamber of first forms, the feminine principle of receptive, infinite potential. The vertical staff below represents the masculine principle of projection, the will, the act of creation that extends down into the material world. The horizontal bar is the horizon, the boundary between the seen and the unseen, the dimensional veil that separates the chamber from your reality. The Ankh is not just a symbol of life. It is the formula for creating life. It represents the perfect union of the receptive potential of the chamber and the projective will of the Creator. To hold the Ankh is to have mastered this circuit. It is to have the ability to draw power and knowledge from the source, the loop, and manifest it into the world, the staff. It is the key that Thoth holds. It is the key that Ra embodies. And it is the key that lies dormant within you. This entire cosmic drama is reenacted in the nightly journey of Ra through the Duat. You have been told this is a journey of battle against the serpent Apophis. And it is. But it is also something more. It is Ra's necessary pilgrimage back to his own source. The 12 hours of the night are a journey of purification, of shedding the dross of the manifest world, of becoming vibrationally pure enough to re-enter his own sacred heart. The battle with Apophis, the force of dissolution, is the final trial, the shedding of the last vestiges of form, the surrender of being in order to return to the source of being. And in the deepest hour of the night, at the point of greatest darkness, Ra re-enters the chamber of first forms. He merges again with the silent potential. He is recharged, recalibrated, and he draws forth from the vault the divine blueprints for the next day, the next cycle of creation. His glorious rebirth at dawn is not just a victory over darkness. It is the projection of a new, perfected pattern drawn from the eternal source. The sun you see in the morning is not the same sun that set the night before. It is a renewed creation, a fresh expression of the divine blueprint. This cycle is the heartbeat of the universe, the endless rhythm of creation, dissolution, and rebirth, all powered by the hidden chamber that lies behind the veil of light. As above, so below. This is not a suggestion, it is the supreme law of a holographic universe. And it means that if this grand cosmic architecture exists at the center of the cosmos, then a perfect fractal replica of it must exist at the center of you. The chamber of first forms is not just a distant mythological place behind the physical sun. It is a living, breathing reality within your own being. The journey to the source is not an outward pilgrimage to a distant star. It is an inward journey into the very heart of your own consciousness. This inner chamber, this architect's vault, is located in your heart. Not the biological muscle that pumps your blood, but the sacred, energetic center that the ancient traditions knew as the true seat of the soul. This is your inner sun. It is a point of infinite stillness and silence, a zero-point field within your own energy system that is a direct, unfiltered portal to the unified field of all creation. It is the place where your individual consciousness touches the mind of God. While your brain processes the illusions of the material world, your heart holds the key to the reality behind them. It is the gateway, the Ankh, the center of your personal universe. And within this silent chamber in your heart, you hold your own original blueprint. Before you were born, before your soul took on a name, a body, a personality, you existed as a perfect divine idea within the mind of the all. This is your spiritual DNA, the unique, uncorrupted pattern of your perfected self. Your soul's purpose, your unique gifts, your highest potential, all of the information of who you are truly meant to be is not something you have to find, to earn, or to build. It is already stored within you in the silent library of your heart, waiting to be accessed. The life you are living now is a reflection, and often a distorted reflection, of this original blueprint. The trauma, the conditioning, the fears, and the false beliefs you have accumulated throughout your life are like layers of dust and grime covering a perfect masterpiece. You have forgotten the original image. You have begun to believe that the dust is the painting. So, how do you access this chamber? How do you wipe away the dust and remember the blueprint? You do not get there through force. You do not get there through intellectual effort or the accumulation of knowledge. The brain, with its relentless chatter and its attachment to logic and fear, cannot enter this space. The ego is the guardian at the gate, and it will not allow you to pass as long as you identify with it. The only way to enter the chamber is to become as silent as the chamber itself. This is the true purpose of deep meditation, of sacred silence, of pure, unwavering presence. These are not practices for relaxation. They are technologies for dimensional travel. When you learn to quiet the relentless noise of your mind, when you pull your awareness away from the distractions of the external world and the dramas of your own thoughts, you can begin to shift your focal point. You move your awareness from your head down into your heart. And if you can hold it there, if you can sit in that space of pure, silent, heart-centered awareness, something miraculous happens. The roar of the world fades. The tyranny of the ego softens, and you begin to feel a subtle hum, a quiet resonance, a deep and profound peace. That is the feeling of the chamber. You are at the doorway. This is the journey of the sun god, your own inner Ra, enacted within your own being. Your daily life, with its struggles and its chaos, is the journey across the sky. The moments where you feel overwhelmed, lost, or consumed by the darkness of the world, that is your descent into the duat. Your inner apophis, your own self-doubt and fear, rises to challenge you. But when you consciously choose to turn inward, to sit in silence, to face your shadows not with resistance but with presence, you are beginning the journey back to the source. And in those moments of deep meditation, of pure, heart-centered stillness, you are re-entering your own hidden chamber. You are bathing your consciousness in the light of its own origin. You are recalibrating your energy field and remembering the blueprint. You emerge from that silence not as the same person who went in. You are reborn, just as Ra is reborn at dawn. You carry with you a piece of that silent wisdom, a fragment of that perfect pattern, and you begin to project it into your world. This is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. It is the sacred covenant you make with your own soul. You are Ra. You are the one who must choose to make the journey. You must choose to face the serpent of your own fear. You must choose to seek the stillness where the blueprints are kept. The world will do everything in its power to keep you distracted from this journey. It will offer you 1,000 escapes, 1,000 reasons not to go inward. Because a world run by the ego is terrified of a human being who has remembered the power that lies sleeping in their heart. Your purpose is not to be found in a career, in a relationship, or in any external achievement. Your purpose is to remember the blueprint and then to build your life as a living temple in its image. You have been praying to a sun in the sky, a distant god, an external source of power, when the very source of all creation has been humming silently within your own chest. The system you were born into is designed to keep your gaze fixed outward and upward, forever seeking, forever dependent. Religion taught you to pray to a god in heaven. Science taught you to look for answers in the stars. Consumerism taught you to find fulfillment in the next purchase. All of it is a grand and tragic misdirection. All of it is designed to keep you from discovering the one truth that would render all external systems of control obsolete. The source is within you. The kingdom of heaven is not a destination after you die. It is a dimension of consciousness you can access right now, and its doorway is your own heart. You are a fractal of the cosmos. The universe is not something you are in, it is something you are. The law of correspondence is not a poetic idea. It is a literal, biological, and energetic fact. And so, the chamber of first forms, the architect's vault, the source code of reality, is not a mythological place. It is a component of your spiritual anatomy. Stop looking for it. Start activating it. The activation begins with a radical shift in perspective. You must stop identifying with the chaos of your mind and start identifying with the silent awareness that witnesses it. That silent witness is the doorway. The thoughts, the emotions, the stories, the fears, that is the weather. You are the sky. The practice of meditation is the practice of remembering that you are the sky. It is the act of consciously pulling your energy and attention out of the storm and resting in the vast, silent, and peaceful space that was always there, untouched by the turmoil. In that silence, the heart begins to open. The frequency of the inner chamber begins to resonate. You don't have to find the blueprints. When you are silent enough, they begin to reveal themselves to you. They come as flashes of intuition, as sudden moments of profound clarity, as creative ideas that seem to arrive fully formed from nowhere. They come as a deep, unshakable sense of purpose that has no logical origin. This is your soul remembering its own source code. This is the chamber transmitting its data to your conscious mind. But this transmission cannot be received if you are living in a state of constant noise and distraction. You cannot hear the whisper of God while the television is screaming. You cannot feel the subtle guidance of your soul while your nervous system is hijacked by stress, by fear, by the endless scrolling through other people's lives. Your body is the temple, and you have been allowing it to be desecrated. The processed foods, the toxins, the lack of sleep, the chronic stress. These are not just health issues. They are spiritual blockades. They lower the vibration of your physical form, making it impossible for you to hold the higher frequencies of the inner chamber. To access the vault, you must first purify the vessel. This is not about asceticism or punishment. It is about reverence. It is about treating your body not as a machine to be used, but as a sacred instrument to be tuned. When you begin to eat clean, to move your body with intention, to honor its need for rest, you are not just getting healthier. You are preparing the temple for the return of the king. You are making your nervous system a worthy conduit for divine energy. This is the great work in its most practical form. It is the conscious alignment of your mind, your body, and your spirit. When you align your mind through presence, when you purify your body through conscious living, your spirit naturally begins to awaken. The door to the inner chamber cracks open, and the light that has been hidden for so long begins to pour into your life. You stop living as a distorted reflection, a carbon copy of social conditioning, and you begin to live as the original. You stop repeating the patterns of your past and start creating from the blueprint of your highest potential. This is the power they have hidden from you. They gave you a world of distractions to keep you from discovering the universe you hold inside. They gave you 1,000 external gods to worship, so you would never find the one within. They taught you to fear the silence because in the silence, you remember. You remember that you are not a powerless creature in a random universe. You are a divine architect, standing in the center of your own creative vault, holding the blueprints for any reality you choose to build. The door to the chamber is not in the sky, it is in the silence behind your own heartbeat. You have been shown the location of the source code. The blueprints for your divine self are waiting. The only question is, will you continue to live as a copy, or will you dare to access the original? If this video resonated with you, let us know by commenting, "I understood it."